You are listening to the City Podcast. Unadulterated, non-politically correct, unfiltered, real talk. The City from the inside out. With your hosts, Chad Cranston and Steve Mealing.
Welcome to the City Podcast. My name is Steve Mealing.
My name is Chad Cranston.
Is that the theme?
Well, the theme was going to be last time we tried to do this, we were drinking. And we're absolutely sober, so I was just trying to bring some excitement to it.
Right.
And
I'm here. The excitement's here.
Yeah, it is. And this is our special Valentine's Day edition podcast. We're actually trying to do stuff like this from here on out.
Oh, really?
St. Patrick's Day, we will be drinking, just so everyone knows ahead of time.
Where are my rose petals, guys?
What's that?
Where are my rose petals?
Oh, come on now. You don't get those at the beginning. You get those after with dinner. Damn it.
So
You know, I was one of the things I did comment about our guests. Who's our guest?
Angela,
From?
this store on Queen Street.
So we have Hubby in the house.
Hi.
You're flying solo tonight.
I am flying solo. I feel like I'm having a boys' night or something.
It couldn't be a boys' night. So what's the first thing I said to you when you came to the door? I haven't seen you with this much clothes on.
I know.
Because
well, it's freezing outside.
since the last time we tried to do this podcast, which was like a week or so ago, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I started following you guys on Instagram.
Oh, get
Oh, you were
out.
following on Instagram?
No, I don't follow anybody on Instagram, really. I think like 3 years ago, I started following people.
Are you like one of those like anti-followers?
No, I was going to say I started following, like when I first got on Instagram, I started following everybody, and then I stopped, and then I started following people selectively, and then I went private. I don't really care for Instagram myself much, but every now and again, like in the morning when I get up, I'll just flip through Instagram while I'm waking up and having a smoke. Unfortunately, I still smoke.
You're not supposed to search Instagram first thing in the morning.
When I'm smoking, so it's more dangerous than smoking.
Could be.
I mean, it's definitely really easily
For sure.
addictive, right?
So my point is that almost all your photos, you're wearing very sexy clothing, very revealing. And I was like, the first time when I first started following, I was like, I was like commenting, I was like, damn. And I was like, wait, I think I sound like a perv. But I guess you know me, so you know I'm only half perverted, not fully Instagram perverted.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
So if I start sliding DMs your way, then you gotta like Steve. You're full perv.
Oh, wait, Chad, like Steve, like slid into my DMs. Like, what's up?
What's up with
I can't.
Chad has a habit of sliding into people's DMs, don't you, Chad?
Once in a while, but I don't do like that. I just send people messages. Hey, this looks good. Hey, congratulations. Awesome. I don't do the heart. Oh, yeah.
Heart eyes. Exclamation mark.
What emojis? Oh, you start incorporating emojis into your DMs?
No, I don't do that.
Do you think I should start DMing more? Is that
I
what's?
mean,
It's a hard one.
it's a hard one.
Is it a finesse thing? Like, do we know? Is
I
this an
definitely
actual?
don't
Is there an
respond to
art?
DMs.
You know what? I don't
Except
think
for
I
the
do,
girls.
except for Chad. Chad will send me like, check out this retard, or isn't this? Well, what is it?
Say retard.
Well, you do say funny language, that's for sure. I was trying to be polite. I apologize to those who are offended by the use of retard.
Yes.
It should have been retarded. So what's going on in your world? I know there's a lot of things happening. Your store's closing.
That's not
Exactly, it's not closing.
Fake news.
Fake-
Fake news.
TMZ.
We
No.
are moving somewhere. Our pop-up.
So break it down. What happened? You guys have your store, this TSOQ,
Yeah, the store on Queen. So
and you guys did a pop-up as well.
The store on Queen has been on Queen Street for 6 years now, and we had an opportunity to expand.
Yeah.
Physical.
So he only got like 50% of you then, basically.
He definitely I find myself not really talking.
Really?
Yeah.
He had that much control on you.
Not.
I didn't think you would be a good listener like that.
Effect. I wouldn't say control.
I was being sarcastic, by the way. I don't think that's right. No, I'm being serious. You should never control another person.
Yeah, no.
Just
but
be
yeah,
yourself.
And then when I realized that, I was like, wow, this is even as a confident individual, and I know who I am. It's like even in itself, like I was in a situation where I personally toned myself down. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
And it's like, and
Is it because you didn't want to outshine him, maybe?
No, it wasn't that. It was just like
Because sometimes people do that, right? They tone it down. Like when I'm out with Chad, I'm like way mellower.
Because you know the looks and stuff like that, right?
totally, I get it.
It's
But,
true, though.
Yeah, so I I don't like the word dating because of that reason, but I think that because it's quite simple. Like when you're dating, you get to know somebody, and when you get to know somebody, there shouldn't be that pressure. You know what I mean? I want this person to be who he is. I want to know who he is, and I want all of that. Like I want to know what I'm getting into.
So it's kind of like you want 3 months in right away.
Not right away, but like I don't want.
No,
that.
from the get-go, though. That's what I'm saying.
Learn
Kind
3
of,
months
like, I
later.
You want to know what they're
Yeah,
really like.
Shit, this guy's got kids.
I can't believe that
Yeah.
guy
That guy
didn't.
murdered
I can't believe that
somebody.
guy left piss on the toilet seat.
Or
Jesus
like
Christ.
he's, you know.
Some guys
he-
do that, eh?
Piss on the toilet seat?
Yeah, they piss on the toilet seat.
Yeah, like or like I want him to know that I'm gonna order the entire menu when we go out.
Of course you are.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, hold
Like, I
on.
don't
That
wanna-
that was my
I don't
next.
want to be like, oh, I'll just like get the salad.
Yeah.
Even though I've never been like that, but like I want him to know what I celebrate and what makes me happy, and I want to know what makes him happy and what.
So
makes him tick.
say for example, if Chad decided to ask you out to go hang, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'll go hang, but meanwhile it means date. Go on a date.
Okay.
So from the get-go, you're like excited because it's Chad. First of all,
Yeah, so I'd be so excited.
you're excited, and you're like, oh my god, I need to get an outfit
I
together.
think finally.
So, so are you going back to TSOQ and going through the whole store, asking all the girls what you should wear?
No.
Are you going home to look for something? Or are you going out to buy something that you don't have that you've always thought you should look good in?
No. I never buy anything for like occasions.
Okay.
And I always like preach.
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's
this
like,
is-
I
I'm-
feel like when we again the pressure. Like when
So
we
you're
go
not
out
gonna
and
show up in
buy
track
something
pants, though?
No.
Are you going to show up with ripped jeans where you can see everything?
No.
Like all your legs. All your legs is what I meant. Not everything. I was visualizing when you showed up at my house where you had all those ripped jeans on. I was just like, what the
I'm
fuck? You
definitely
might as well
gonna
not be
show up-
wearing those.
I'm definitely gonna show up like in an outfit that I would feel.
So
confident.
that's what I mean. Are you going to try and look hot, which you don't have to try? What I'm saying is, are you going to look hot, or are you going to be casual business, or are you going to be jeans, t-shirt, sweatshirt?
It all depends on like where we go.
Well, that's the next question.
Yeah.
So ideally, from my experience, most women, I have to be careful how I word this because I don't want to generalize anything, is they would ask you, they would ask, basically they want you to tell where you're going, right? So say the ball was in your court, and Chad's like, wherever you want to go, we'll take you. Where do you want to go?
Like first day.
Yeah, I'm just being serious. Like pool hall, or you want to go like a nice restaurant?
To be
Are you
honest
gonna
with you,
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think that.
It's kind of get to know you.
Yeah.
This could actually be a date.
I actually don't. I think dinner's like such a go-to thing.
Not date. So he said, let's go somewhere for dinner. And you're like, oh, okay, I'd like to go to Scaramouche. Is he my place? I don't even know.
Moosh?
Yeah, it's in the suburbs though. It's not
Is it? I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know. I've never
Okay.
I know there's one in
Let's go to KFC,
like, to
Old
be
Spaghetti
honest with you,
Factory. Like, I
would
don't know.
be- Yeah, like
What
that-
I'm trying to
I'm
say is, like,
I'm
what do you like,
probably-
casual, or you want to do fine dining?
I'm
That's probably a better
the
word.
worst person to ask because I'm really I would take it as it is. Like if he was to be like, oh, anywhere, I'd be like, it really doesn't matter. We can
Okay, but
go-
you're going to make a decision. Where are you going? You can't skirt around this question. We're going to get an answer.
No. I would go to Snakes and Lattes.
Okay, perfect. So you
Yeah.
can have some coffee. You can play
Yeah.
some games.
Yeah.
Plus, you're not limited
Yeah.
to just the dinner. You could you're having fun. You could stay all night, get some drinks on.
Yeah. But
So,
I think it doesn't necessarily have to be like I don't believe that it has to be either like a super fancy place or like whatever.
no, I was just wondering what your personal taste is.
Yeah.
We could be doing some field research here. You don't know.
Setting her up.
Oh my God!
You
Am I
never
being
know.
set up?
You never
This
know.
is so exciting.
Oh my God. Well, this is a Valentine's theme, and I was thinking we got to just
Yeah.
explore some options because you got to remember too. You guys have a lot of fans, or customers, or clients, or just people who really love you guys, right? And look up to you in various ways. Obviously, for a reason.
And we're so honestly.
So this is a bit more honest. Do you know what I mean? This is kind of like a personal conversation where maybe
You
they
get to
can.
know me.
Yeah, you get to know you.
Oh my God.
Are you fully racked in jewelry? Are you blinged out? Or are you just like tennis shoes?
I really don't wear any accessories.
Okay.
The most is like my hats. I collect hats. My nails is.
Well, that's
a-
definitely something. I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell you got
it's-
going on there.
It's always a different nail
I
on
noticed.
each nail.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot.
You got a safety pin on one.
Yeah, Sparks.
Sparks,
is
uh,
on,
what
like,
is it?
really
Sparks
does
kills it.
Yeah,
Everyone
they
goes
kill
there.
it. Yeah, they do.
They have 2 locations, don't
They
they?
do, yeah. And
One's
they're
better than the
amazing.
other.
And yeah, they're like, yeah, it's amazing.
So you get your nails did,
Yeah.
your hair done,
Yeah, and that's about it. Like, I'll
and
have,
you're
like,
going to Snakes and
one
Lattes.
necklace or, like,
So are you going to have just one drink? Or are you going to have a few drinks? Or
I
do you
actually
consciously
don't
say,
really drink.
I'm not drinking because you don't want to reveal too much? You want to be on your best behavior?
No, I actually don't drink. Like, I don't.
I've seen you
casually
drink, so that's a lie.
I casually drink.
Okay, casually drink.
No
Um,
drinking.
Like, he's
I'm
like,
not.
Yeah, drink.
I'm not saying drink 13
Like-
drinks. I'm saying, are you going to have 1 or 3?
At most, I'll have like 2.
Okay, so you know what your limit is. Just keep your
Yeah,
shit
it's not
together.
even like a limit. I would rather eat my calories, as weird as that sounds.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. And so I choose not to drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but on this non-date, you're going to do something special. You're going to have a few drinks.
Am I?
What are you going to drink?
I'm being told. I'm going to drink.
No, you're going to have a few drinks.
Yeah.
It's because if we said hypothetical, then we go on for 20 minutes about how you're not hypothetical about things. I can get boring pretty quick. Agreed?
It's true.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you agree? Okay, we're all in agreement. I'm right, you're wrong. So the answer is no, seriously. So are you gonna what? What are you gonna drink?
It also depends. So if this okay. Say
It's
for
Chad. It's
say
not
for
me.
instance- Say for instance, we went to Bar Chef.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god, I would be literally ordering every single modernist cocktail they have.
Hold on, what?
They have modernist cocktails,
What is that?
and it's like a whole experience. It's
Well, I
like
know
a
what the
whole-
place is, but are you saying there's no alcohol in those?
There's alcohol.
But you don't drink.
I don't drink all of them.
You just
I'll
have
like
sips of
taste.
all of them.
Yeah.
The guy gets
It's really, really dark.
The guys are pretty cool there as well.
They're really nice.
So basically,
Dorian's my girl there.
okay.
Yeah, she's dope. She's really, really dope.
What would you?
question I would like to ask you.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
You have a lot of content, a lot of comments coming from you guys. A lot of women asking you about different things.
Mm-hmm.
Who answers those questions?
We
You-
both do.
You both do.
Yeah.
To share the account, or you just pass the phone around?
A lot of personal stuff.
Oh, really?
Stuff a lot of
Yeah,
girls.
we do. We get a lot of
Excuse me.
DMs about like relationships, and like I personally get a lot of DMs about relationships and like weight loss and like all that stuff.
So we were right by talking about both those topics.
Yeah. Relationships, it's like, and for me, it's like I always like try to respond back in a way where
In a timely fashion, or just as you can get through them?
as I can get through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and at times it'll take me like weeks to get back to somebody.
You have a lot of comments.
Yeah, and so it's like we
Interesting.
definitely do try to like get back to everybody. Like everybody's equally important, and so, but yeah, like we definitely do try, like both of us.
Do you guys follow any male influencers? I have one in mind that I want to talk about.
I do.
That you find funny.
Oh, I find funny.
Yeah. Or did you just follow?
That I find funny.
Do you follow the guy Krills?
I don't.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The slut whisperer.
Do I need to?
Yeah, you slut
Do I need to-
whisperer.
do I need to-
Yeah.
Do I need to look him up right now?
Just go slut whisperer.
Slut Whisperer.
Slut
That's
whisperer.
a terrible name.
It's a horrible.
I find it offensive.
It's so terrible.
You know what's going on with him right now.
What's that?
You know what's going on with him right now.
I don't know.
No, Steve.
Well,
Like the Jordan Peterson of this.
yeah, he's kind of like doing a lot of correcting, but it's
Oh, he got in trouble?
no, he's pretty risque about what he talks about.
This
He's
is
up
pretty
front.
risque. We're going with this guy. Obviously by the name.
Yeah,
Really
go for it.
risque.
Some of his comments are
And I'm
pretty.
going somewhere with this as well too.
Yeah, some of his comments are
Of course you are.
pretty.
There's an agenda.
Always, of course.
Well, it's a pretty volatile time right now with a lot of things that are happening, and there's plus that Me Too movement. Everybody's kind of walking on eggshells about being taken the wrong way, and some of his comments on his account are pretty out there,
Yeah.
and direct, and there is a point. But some of his stuff's a bit abrasive, I find.
I think a lot of it's pretty abrasive.
Yeah.
I think.
Do I find some of it funny? Absolutely.
You
But
need
I'm a
to know
guy.
yours. Okay, does Instagram ever do this? Like, does this to you?
What? Stop working?
Where the search disappears? Like
No.
On the
search
iPhone it
somebody?
does. On the
Okay,
iPhone it
you
does.
need to pull it up on your
Your
You're
magnifying
live
glass is
We're
right
all
there.
live right now from this feed here.
Okay, well, you need to put it on your phone.
Steve,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
pull
put
that
it
for
on
you.
yours. The reason why I'm asking that type of questions is because there's a dynamic between what women, like not just with you guys, but women that are influencers in like fitness and health, will take a serious approach to make things for women motivating and inspirational, where I find that, you know, guys with that same type of mentality aren't doing the same thing, but they're also playing that game of like equality. Well, if you want to be equal, then we can both do this thing and blah 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 blah. And so don't complain about it if you're doing this, and I'm showing this type of thing.
Right.
Where you guys don't show that whatsoever. And I notice a lot of female influencers don't show that kind of side to hating on men.
Okay. Well, I see 2 photos already, and I can like I get what you're saying.
I think it's more and more likely the I'm not sure. Probably
What's happening?
it's this.
So you're looking up slut.
Motivational speaker.
Apparently, yeah. So we're talking about
Isn't that
Slut
weird?
Whisperer.
No, okay. First of all,
We're gonna move on. We're definitely gonna move on from it. I just wanted to bring it up for a quick second to compare the differences. What you guys? Cause I look up to you guys to see what you're doing. For sure, 100%. So I mean,
that means a lot
Well, not for clothes.
because like you know us as like you're a friend. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like that means a lot that you like.
well, I want you guys to keep pushing, but I want other women to be able to take what you guys do and build upon it too. Like that's so
Absolutely,
goddamn
apply it.
empowering. You know what I mean? Like even when we talked last time, we didn't really get it out, but last time you guys were here, you guys had your party.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
how did that go?
talked about that after because you guys got busy after that. I'm
Yeah,
assuming,
it
after
was-
that with the renovations and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was honestly like the panty party really just kind of took on a whole life on its own. And originally it was an idea that I had for a birthday surprise party for Va, and it was like we invited 70 of our closest girlfriends, and
Which is a lot in the real world. You do know
Yeah.
that, right?
yeah,
Okay.
we
a lot.
do know.
No, I'm just saying it's a lot.
It is a lot, and it was a lot of like the clients that we had like met and we became friends with from the store and stuff like that, and it was just like we wanted to do like a girls' night in essentially, but like a sleepover, but an adult sleepover.
Oh my God, I'm in.
And then I know, and then after that, I just kind of we started getting this influx of comments saying that was the most liberating experience I've ever experienced, yada yada yada, and I'm like, oh my God, this is if we can create this for at least one person a year.
Mm-hmm. It's a good
I'm
feeling.
so happy.
Yeah.
We sent
And-
some girls who went there.
What is the panty party? Because we never even really talked about it. It really never got out.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't allowed to go. We know that.
For sure not.
So the panty party is an all girls lingerie party, but you don't have to wear lingerie. It's more of like anything you want. It's just sleepwear inspired. So some girls will wear complete lingerie get up. Some girls will come in a matching flannel pajamas. Some girls will come with like an animal onesie. Yeah, so it's really just an all girls. Yeah, it's just girls having fun, dancing without in a safe space where they know that no guys are going to be there to grab them or touch them, and in their most
Kind of safe
most
zone.
most vulnerable state, right? And celebrating their own bodies and their curves and just really embracing who they are as they are, without having to diet because they need to be in this environment where they're going to be judged or like whatever it is. It's really just it's a freeing event, I would say. Yeah.
This can go very far in regards to media,
Yeah.
public speaking. I think, but at the same token too, I think a lot of media should be covering what you guys are doing as well, because the time is now for women to really get out their word, because like who knows what's going to happen next year or the year after that, or how are we going to take this whole thing of exposing what's going on. We did talk about this before.
We did talk about it.
And it's still
very
going on,
briefly.
man.
Yeah.
This crap is still going on.
Sometimes it takes something dramatic to make that much of a difference, though. Like to make something happen.
Yeah.
But you also got to realize that there's also going to be all kinds of people trying to jump in on the action as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I think if there's a theme is one thing, but the intention, you know what I mean, has got to be there for everybody. And it's got to be equal, just like what's going on in the States. Like, for example, at the Grammys, wasn't there like quite a bit about the Me Too and the power of equality of women? But you got to remember, like, over half of the crowd that was sitting there were artists that wrote songs about beating up bitches,
Kinda true.
banging bitches,
True.
having 16 bitches, gonna, like, molly her out, basically date rape them. Do you know what I mean? It's got to make sense where there's got to be some continuity. Even like, the Hillary Clinton thing, you know what I mean? she aided and abetted her husband during all of those things that were going on. This is real talk, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And not only that, it just came out this past weekend that the guy who's running her campaign, what area of the department, I have no idea, not the point, but this guy was sexually harassing some of the interns there, and she intervened, make sure he didn't get fired, and moved him to a different area. Do you know what I mean? Like, how is that, like, someone who's gonna represent a movement that's gotta be pure? It can't be, do you know what I mean? That's where there's gotta be the impact. And I think that message has gotta be clear. If you're gonna go after guys for all these things that they've done, which they deserve to be dealt with properly, you know what I mean? You also gotta clean up the back end as well, right? And having those that are enabling it. Does this make sense to you guys?
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%.
So in other words, if you're gonna be in, be all in and clean house. Don't just go around and pick people, you know what I
I
mean?
think it's got to stop all the way around. I was even watching a movie on the weekend. I'm like, that can't be in there any longer. That has to stop. All that shit has to stop. Like, I mean, we can go on until the point where we're all happy and secure. Sorry, I had it on you the whole time.
Yeah, I don't like
happy and secure, happy and secure, and we can joke around with it. All that shit has to stop. It has to be reprogrammed from a young age into boys. And girls as well too.
Yeah.
That you can have your voice. You can have your voice. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
And then
you would think,
joke
right?
about it after that. Then we can get back to that point of joking about it. Same
Yeah.
thing with like, if you want to talk about racism or gays and that kind of stuff, or whatever have you. Like, we should be able to be open and joking about it, but we're not.
There should be
Well,
discourse.
close,
There
yes.
should be discourse. There should always be discourse. Where we live in a Western society, there should be discourse. You can't shut somebody down. If their idea is atrocious and horribly offside, hear them out, point out to them how it was, or you know what I mean? You can't just say, you know what I mean? You're a rapist, you're a Nazi, you're a racist, and shut down a conversation. You might as well be living in North Korea if that's how you think things should be done. Do you know what I mean? Again, this is like hearing someone's opinion out and then voicing your own. You can learn from each other. Maybe you only learned the tiniest amount from somebody whose point of view is way offside, but at least you can learn maybe how they think, how to approach it different. You know what I mean? And also just
Well,
as well, too.
I feel like when you don't learn like when you just
360, right?
there's no getting to the bottom and really fixing like you're like you were saying, you're just like it's either you're all in,
Yeah.
and you figure it out, get to the bottom.
There's
of it.
no exceptions. There's no
There's
cherry
no-
picking. Oh
there's
well,
no-
so and so and
Yeah,
so and so.
There's no cherry picking of like, oh well, because he's in this position, or like, oh, because like this person does this, or like whatever it is. I think it's just the rule just applies.
Well, just like okay, Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein situation. I'm not from Hollywood. I don't operate in Hollywood. However, a lot of podcasts I've listened to, a lot of online stuff I've listened to, is that it was common knowledge that this was taking place. Everybody was aware that that's
And it's
part
so
of the
heartbreaking
system.
to hear that.
Now that it's out in the open, you have to be aware that everybody knew what was happening and did nothing about it. So who's the hypocrite? Obviously, he's in the wrong, but what I'm saying is, you know what I mean? If everybody's gonna get together on something, get together on it. You can't cherry pick it, you know what I mean?
Or boycott it.
Or even better, you can't,
But
you can't,
And I mean, in that instance, I think like, and I don't know the story and I don't know any of them, and it's like, and I'm just like, I think speaking in terms of like the public, at
Yeah.
times, a lot of times people feel like they don't have a voice,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel like they can't do anything about it because they're one person. And I
but
think
the internet kind of changed that whole game though,
I
didn't
know,
it?
but a lot of people don't think that way. So it's like for them to not speak up and stuff, I think.
A lot of people don't think that way.
Yeah,
I think
and
majority of
so-
people don't. If you go into public and you're seeing things happen, like say for instance, just somebody that's homeless on the street,
Yeah.
we all just basically just walk by that person.
Yeah.
Come out of
And it's
Starbucks
so
and change doesn't.
sad, yeah.
Yeah,
On a
it's
small.
yeah, no, exactly, and that's the thing is that like, I remember this so clearly because I was walking on Yonge and Dundas Square, and someone had fell,
okay.
and I swore I watched two guys walk by her before like somebody then like helped her.
Were they just busy looking at their phones, looking into outer
I don't
space,
know,
or
but it's
you just
like-
saw them walk by?
If somebody falls in front of you.
If someone falls in front of you, it's kind of obvious.
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying,
No,
like,
I
how
agree.
do these?
But I know, I
I'm
feel
trying
You're
to.
wondering like why.
I'm like, how does this happen? Are they
but
blind?
It's like it's one of those things where people just kind of like it's. Yeah,
So you
it's
think
not
that happens
just-
in the States, but you don't think that would happen here, right?
I see it here.
And that's because we feel we're a bit more moral, I guess. that statement I said, and we both, all three of us shook our heads. We're like, yeah, it's true. Why do we feel that way? Are we morally superior?
You guys don't want anything to do with that. 10 years down the line, where you see yourself being is, because this is going to go very far. If you look into the future and you're playing your 15 steps ahead, or your 12 steps ahead of
For
planning.
me as a person or like the store?
The store.
The brand, everything.
Well, it includes.
The whole movement. We can call this a movement now.
So you're gonna be like 40
It's a
then?
movement.
Yeah, it is a movement, and I think it'll definitely be. I really hope that it'll be international for sure. Yeah.
So all this does tie together because it is a bit of a movement. Chad and I talked about this before, and it seems to be like a more of a pure. It's political in its own way. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, what you're saying about your party, even though Chad and I weren't allowed in, which is ridiculous still. But your panty party, it's a political statement in its own way.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't intend for it to be, but
Yeah, and the initial one
like-minded
was out
people
there,
tend to come together, right?
Yes.
And so that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a group of women that are celebrating
Yeah.
versus being angry.
Yeah, and I think that's like something that mentioned that there's a few stores that either A, carry things that we carry, or
Yeah.
B, like do certain things that are like very similar to us in terms of like having two girls and whatnot.
This exists.
This does exist.
It's not the same though.
But no, but hear
Well,
me
see,
out.
that's just
Hear
it.
me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
So, and when they bring it up, and it's different people that bring it up to us, and every time it's like they get like slightly protective of us, and I love that about people.
So they report back to you. They're like,
Yeah.
we're out and about, we're out in the
Oh
wild.
my god, I saw this, and they were like, they were expecting like us to be angry or expect us to be, like react in a certain way, and.
But it was all with the good
For
intentions,
me,
though.
I always laugh and I always say, like, I'm so happy for them. And it is genuinely, I'm really excited that, these people stepped out of their comfort zone and did something that they want to be a part of. And, like, I personally want to be like, congratulations. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, like, and I did a post the other day is that I never get, at the end of the day, I want everyone to make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that I don't, there's no competition, there's no, it's business. And at the end of the day, like, I would want everybody to, like, make it. And so, like, even being on the strip on Queen Street, if we don't have something and I know another store has it, I always tell the girls to tell the customer.
Yeah,
Be like,
it's
"Be
down there,
honest,
go grab it." Yeah.
It's there, this is the store name, and you can
Excuse me.
Because I think that, like, if we're not going to support each other, and being Canadian or like being in the same industry or whatever it is, it's like, who's going to support us?
Well, one way a store could look at it is that they're getting your clientele, right? So they're like, yeah, their clientele's coming here. So if we get some of the clothes that they have in here, then they won't even go there. Or you could have the store going, oh, that's so nice of them to send us customers.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll come down and say, hey, thanks for sending down some customers. Here's some tea, peppermint tea.
I think what will happen is people try it out and they'll come right back to you guys. The reason why I'm saying this is because
I
it's
love
not
that
about,
you're so confident about it.
No, and I'll tell you why.
there's a
because
point.
It's all about the presentation and environment. There's like, so I was told for myself about the guy who used to make my custom shirts, and another competitor was like, "Yo, they're talking. We were at an event. And they're just talking shit about the guy." I'm like, "But you don't understand. When I go to this guy's place,
GP?
he sits me. Well, GP's one of them that I now get my suits from. My
Yeah,
custom shirts. So, and I don't want to give names out because it's
It is
quite
what it
obvious. Quite obvious. I go there. He's greeting, smile on the face. How's the family? How are things going? Let's sit down. Let's talk. There's a scotch on the table. You want a cigar? Cigars. You want some food? Whatever you want. Like, we're sitting there talking like we're best friends. And that presentation to me is like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to splash out for 10 shirts because this makes more than me just coming to you, this guy here, trying it out. Then I go home. He charges me and there's no experience. Right? And that's the big thing is experience. Like, people can try to do it, but they're never going to have your personality. They're never going to have Wifey's personality or your staff's personality or
Yeah,
the
the staff.
energy that's in that place that's been there for a very long time that's not going to leave and go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So I get you. I get what you're saying. And I would be happy to if people copy us too. I know people are coming up with podcasts now too that were never doing
What?
podcasts. I never thought about it before.
There's other podcasts?
But locally.
Good.
Now that
That's
we,
awesome.
You know what I mean? It's
That
like-
would mean
and
that
I
there's
see
like,
it, and I know it's directed from us. I'm like, good. You should be doing this. You should be doing it the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
it's
what are you
like,
thinking?
celebrate it, you know what I mean?
more importantly, everyone could share each other's experience
There you
and
go.
guest
The
on each
content.
other's stuff.
And it's
it
more
out.
of a compliment. It's like, you guys are doing something great and they want a piece of that. You know Because that's how I think about it. It's like I take it as such a good, like a compliment when somebody's like try to steal a top, a bottom, and something else, like 3 items.
It's a lot,
Yeah, but they didn't get away with it.
clearly,
Yeah,
because you guys are
and
vultures there.
it's really unfortunate because it's like now that we know, it's like you're never allowed to like come in here again and like every time I see you out, it's like
She's gonna have to change her
so
look altogether.
embarrassing, you know what I mean?
Was she younger?
Our staff will know, and it's like one of those things. It's like it's just
Well, she took that risk when she decided to steal from you,
Yeah,
right? It's
but
just how it
That's
goes.
crazy.
But I was thinking that someone might have tried to do something crazy, like fill
A bag.
or something like
layers.
yeah, or even layers. I was hoping for a layers story or something like that. That's unfortunate. That's good that not many people are actually trying to thief from you
no,
because they probably support you and they want to support you, and your staff's good as well, right?
yeah.
So what do we got to say? We've got 5 more minutes left.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I really want to talk more about the store.
Ah!
So you guys doing the work yourselves?
Who's doing the men's? That's what I wanted to know.
Is the men's coming out?
Because last time I was in there was no men's.
Yeah, I mean we carry unisex.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, unisex sweaters and stuff, and t-shirts and whatnot.
Erogenous stuff?
Well,
Straight guys come and pick that stuff up?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
true.
For sure.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard.
yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
No, it's true. It's like people come.
That's not the top store for guys. You know what I mean? Like,
It's not.
I'm not trying to be an alpha male. And kind of, no, I'm kidding. I should not talk this way. But guys do come.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's like a certain size that I do have a few guy friends that like have come and tried, and it's like way too small. Even though I'm like, oh,
Most things probably would be.
Yeah.
We have a different figure.
Yeah.
Isn't there a specialty store for that?
For big guys?
Yeah. They want to wear
Big people? Small people? People with
little people.
different body types?
What
So to
types?
speak?
Are you drunk?
No, I haven't been drinking at all.
What about you guys? This is a Valentine's podcast.
I know.
Are you guys dating? I mean, Chad's like, oh shit.
Yeah, of course.
That's
We
amazing.
both have good women in our lives.
Amazing.
We're very fortunate, actually.
We both have,
Good women in our lives.
yes, good women's.
Women,
My life.
women.
Not just one.
Mom,
Yes, of course. That's what I'm getting at. My mom's amazing. My stepmom's very interesting.
Peaches.
Peaches. And there's some friends.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm in the same book as you as far as don't really date. I don't. I haven't even asked a girl out on a date ever. Ever.
Not even to hang.
To hang, yeah. But I don't go, hey, let's go on a date. I was like, let's go out.
But like, do you like?
And I don't
do you
go,
make
let's
it
go-
Special?
It's more to get to know.
Yeah, but in a sense where you know, like you
We're the
need
same
to
that way.
know-
No, I don't make
Oh,
a special.
okay,
Like,
okay.
obviously, I think that going somewhere with someone is special. Do you know what I mean?
And you're excited
Well,
for
spending
it.
time with somebody
That's
is
to me, like if I can't get along, if there's no banter or something like that, it's not me to get all personal. But there's got to be connection. There's got to be a spark. Otherwise, I'll be bored so stiff in a hurry.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I can be a bit too blunt, which I am a pretty blunt person, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a selfish thing, but for the most part, it's not.
I just find a lot of guys don't really like ask girls out on dates anymore.
There's a reason for that. There's a lot of guys that have got no balls out there that are pussies.
And
Sorry for the language, ladies, but you must agree.
It's just too easy.
So you think
It's
that
too easy.
you think that technology is essentially
Big time.
You know what,
It's a
though?
big factor. That whole aspect of being excited and meeting somebody's gone. So like,
No,
that
it's not.
for-
Not everybody does that.
Everything is put on. You've never been on Tinder and that kind of stuff.
I've never been on any of those.
But everything is.
I'm not
laid
even on
out for-
Facebook.
Literally, everything's laid out. Like your resume, the top portion of your resume, the best portion of your resume is laid out on it's on Instagram, but on Tinder, Bumble, if you're on whatever you're on, it's laid out. So then you already know exactly what you're getting. And then for girls and guys, for their pictures, you know what their body top is like. So like that's the person that I like. That 30% is already gone. So I already know that going into this conversation, if you like me, I like you, and we're on Tinder, and we all know that Tinder's probably about 80% dirt. That this is what we're going to do, right? You know, this is the thing.
Such
So,
harsh words, eh?
So
I apologize for that.
so I call them optionals because everybody's in this optional thing. So I was like, I can message 10 different people at once
Yeah.
and find the best option tonight. Maybe I have a fetish for white,
What?
blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls tonight.
right.
I can go for my list and do that.
Right.
And she can do the same thing with guys too. So like,
Except
there is
girls
that
are more
thing.
like blue eyes, brown eyes.
So you think that because of there's so much, the options are endless that there's no need to.
Yeah, but that's just interactions. There's no spark. There's got to be a spark.
That's what I'm saying. That spark's gone. That 50% is where the spark happens.
But
We
he's
see some-
saying it's not.
I'm saying it's not. I
not.
spark when I go
love
out.
sitting
You've
here
never been on
talking
Tinder,
to
though.
like two very different opinions.
I'm more
He's
like
never been on Tinder before. So
I've never been on Tinder.
He
I'm
was on,
just
he's
I've
like,
never
oh my
been on
god,
Tinder.
this is it's
Yeah,
I
to
was
get
on
lit.
it for 72 hours, and let's put, okay, say a week. I was on it for a week, right?
that's the longest 72
And-
hours I ever had.
72 hours.
I'm not very good at
Still
math,
in a
but
week,
does that
it's
work?
Like filtering it out. So my point is what I discovered on it is like, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's no spark. Because like majority of the time, not to brag or boast, but I'm kind of a catch. And with the girls that were appealing to me, I automatically knew they wanted one thing out of me,
Right.
right? And I'm like, well,
To
I
take your
like to get
glasses
to
off?
fucking know you first and foremost, and like just talk and have a decent conversation. Because I enjoy conversation as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So just like, hey, come over to my house. We'll have some wine, and we'll get down.
So if a girl jumps on you, are you like, no, let's sit down and talk about this first?
That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because I'm a man at the end of the day, right? You know what I mean?
Oh, come on. Is that a tear?
It's not a tear. I'm just saying at the end of the day, it's some things we're talking about that 30% of excitement and things that guys should be doing as a gentleman, as a consummate, we'll say the stick man.
Yeah, but you
So
can't
like
really say that what you
So-
just said right now.
What?
What a guy's supposed to do as a gentleman, because it's kind of not really. It's offensive to some people,
What do
actually.
you mean? So explain yourself.
Well, what do you mean by that? So I can explain where. So in other words,
Be a gentleman. Like, just don't throw dick pics out there.
oh,
Yes,
I
thank
thought you were
you.
talking. I thought you were
Don't,
talking. Good
I
recovery.
don't-
I don't
don't-
even know how that even works.
What,
I'm-
dick pics?
Like, how does
But
that
it
even
must.
work? Like, how
I've
do you,
never sent
Then
one. I
again,
don't
it
know.
must work because guys are doing it, and I know some guys that I know that do it they say it works.
It says strangers.
Yeah.
That is fucking crazy.
Oh, so it's like a tryout?
And
It's a
girls too,
tryout? It's too big. Swipe.
right?
It's too small.
It's optional.
Swipe.
It's becoming an optional thing. And it's,
Right.
you
So
know
in
what I
other
mean?
words,
That's
it's just push the boundaries. Before it was like send a picture of you in your lingerie, stuff that you would post on Instagram. And then that wasn't enough after a while.
Like, you know, like doing that. And
How many dick pics have you got? I'm being serious. That's a good question.
To be honest with you,
Well,
Surprisingly-
You're not on Tinder.
I'm not
Oh,
on
you
Tinder.
can't unless they're gonna give you an Instagram.
I'm not on
Everyone's gonna
Tinder.
get
I'm not on
Instagram.
I'm not on any of those dating apps or whatever it is. And I'm
So you're not on a dating app and someone to send you a dick pic.
Instagram.
Instagram or text.
Okay, so hold on for a second.
You don't have to name names. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
funny.
No. All I'm saying is that I've never received a dick pic from a stranger.
Okay.
It's usually
Okay,
from
that's-
guys I've been like talking to for
That's
a little
fair.
bit. Like that's
That's game.
fair, right?
So it's not an opener. Okay.
No,
It's not a random.
I've never gotten an opener.
Here's,
Ever.
here's my dick. What do you think?
Crazy. That's
Ever.
nuts.
But I hear about it all the time. I hear about it all the time. I hear about girls like, you know, saying that they get these big dick pics
As openers.
as openers.
Yeah.
And,
And the
it's-
language. It's
and the
used,
language
it's like,
is crazy.
there's
So-
there's nothing
And I'm
nice
so-
about.
There's no social skills
None
whatsoever.
whatsoever.
They got no game.
But
No
thankfully,
game.
No game.
None.
Thankfully, I've never received anything like that.
I've sent a picture of a giant cock before. It was this thing I found on Google. It was a giant rooster. I'm being dead serious. And it said something about a cock. I was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
So I sent it as
But that
my,
works.
that was my dick
that
pic.
would,
That
that
would
would be
work.
funny.
It was
Yeah.
worked.
And it probably worked.
It
Didn't
worked. It worked.
Yeah, see? Because it's
But-
like, it's intriguing and it's funny.
Because it's a cock. And it's not what you expect.
Yeah, but I do
That's
I do
feathers.
agree with you in terms of like working for it.
Yeah.
I feel
The
like
chase is exciting.
but I
all
don't
that.
think guys actually like the chase anymore.
Beta males.
I'm just going to say.
Maybe.
What? The
And-
kid, oh, geez, she hasn't texted
That's
back.
That's what happened with the last guy that was like pseudo kind of dating. That we're anyways.
So were you pseudo dating or were you
Was
hanging?
it because
We're
he's got
Okay.
options again? Does it come down to the options why guys don't want to chase?
I definitely think that I definitely think he was used to girls a bit easier for sure. And I don't mean it in a bad way. Like it's
Not at
not-
all.
Yeah, like
Not
it's
at all.
like it's just
But you at the same time don't want to describe yourself as work either, right?
I mean, I don't.
So you make the guy work for it?
No, I don't make him work for it. But
That's what I'm saying, right?
I definitely like there was a lot of communication, and I'd call him out on his shit, and
Which
it
is
was, like, there was
awesome.
No bullshit. And
That's
so
awesome.
I think that right in the beginning.
Yeah, set the
is
tone.
A little scary.
So having that kind of interaction is scary, or having, because usually when you have like something like that, calling it on the shit, it's kind of the guy's a complete beta male. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he's gonna cower kind of to that, you calling him on his shit, or he's gonna be more of an alpha male kind of thing where he's gonna go, this is awesome, we got banter,
So
we got action
You know
here.
what's interesting?
Do you know what I mean?
He liked it. So he did like the calling out on his shit. And he's like, I've never.
So he was trying to save it.
He's never dated anybody, like talked to anybody that did that, and he's like, for the first time, he's like, I feel like I'm doing it right, because we were extremely honest with each other, but like one incident happened, and then another, and then we just stopped talking.
Because it escalated, where you had to, the banter got too intense,
No,
or?
it was one of those things where he thought that I was mad for something else, when I was like, I'm not even mad at that at all. I was like, I was just mad at the fact that you didn't care enough to say I'm sorry.
So he was just acting out for the sake of the reply,
Yeah, not sure.
and then was testing to see what he could get away with.
Yeah.
And then you were offended, and he just didn't know which one.
Yeah.
Because
then,
all
he
of them
didn't-
probably
but
were to
he
him.
also didn't care enough to ask me what was wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He I guess those, say there was three, all three of them were extreme for him because he was pushing it. So he didn't know which three to ask about, which one to ask about, because there's three of them, right?
Yeah.
So rather than being a guy, rather than saying, what did I do? He just pretended like, what? They're all fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that
And
make
then-
sense to you?
Kind of, and then.
So he's just got to eat it. He's got to eat the situation because his pride.
The girls would accept that.
Yeah.
He was pushing that same game.
I
Whatever
guess.
he was doing didn't work with you.
I guess, and then something else happened.
That was a
and
close
then-
call.
But I told him, I'm like, fix it. I'm like, just fix it. I'm extremely angry. I was like, you left me for like 5 days to deal with my own problem. No, you upset me.
He tried to flip it.
If you're gonna try to be my
It's
partner,
unsuccessful
you need to figure
flip.
out what you did,
For sure.
and so you don't do it again. Do you know what I mean? So, anyways, so when we like talked about it, it was all fine. Something else happens, and he didn't defend me. And one of my biggest things is defending me. I would
The
defend
old
my
honor
partner.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
that's what it
defend
is.
my partner, whoever it is, anybody in my circle, to the day I die.
You're
Even if
gangsta.
they were wrong. But behind closed doors, I would tell them that you were wrong.
Yeah.
But in public, I would defend you. Because, like, you're my team. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
on
I
your
hear-
team.
Yeah.
And one thing happened was...
That's a strong trait. Chad and I will both look at each other like check it out.
Yeah.
Check it, Chad.
Yeah.
We just gave the old, yeah, that's what we're looking for.
But that's one thing that I'm looking for, and it's like so crucial for me. And one time, like one thing was he didn't defend me, and I was so taken back because something happened. He then took somebody else's side and was like, "Why did you do that?" Before even talking to me, he just straight up came to me and was like, "Why'd you do that?" And I was like, and was upset with me, and I was like, first of all, what? You didn't even care to hear my side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you know me, you've been talking to me for 2 months now, you should know my character. I would never do said.
Or
thing.
what your intent is always positive, right?
Yeah. And so, and that was extremely, like, disappointing. And so I messaged him on that, and I was like,
He sounds like he needs to get smacked.
you know, it's really unfortunate because I quite liked him.
It's okay. Sometimes we fall for
Yeah.
fools.
I guess.
Or some guys that just need to grow up before.
Yeah, and it was really unfortunate because I did quite like him, and I was telling Valentina, I was like, if he continues doing what he does, I'm in trouble for sure. But then he fucked up.
Oh, shit. So you cursed yourself.
Yeah.
Well, so basically what you're saying, we're going to wrap this up because that was a good story.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is you are without someone to hang with on Valentine's Day.
I'm actually going to be away on Valentine's Day.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So guys can't send you DMs or anything wishing you a happy Valentine's?
No, everyone can send me things. I'll be in Vegas. I'll be
What,
working.
where will you be? What booth?
Yeah,
No, not for me. I was just saying for the people listening.
no.
Did you get our
We're
tickets?
just there working. Yeah.
Wow, they make you work over Valentine's
I
Day?
know, right?
Clothing industry is
Who's
rude.
I need to fire my boss.
Clearly.
Myself.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Because no one knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. I'm so excited because we're actually documenting the entire way. So we're going to be documenting like the whole process.
For your YouTube channel?
Yes and no. It's just really to keep everybody involved because I think that like a lot of our growth has to do with our supporters, right?
Yeah.
100%. And
That's
so
what I'm saying. So you can give the content out.
we want to bring them on the journey with us.
So it'll be
essentially.
exciting. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
basically yes, Steve, what you just said.
No, because we don't have it. Well, we have a YouTube
Oh
channel.
my
but
God.
we
You don't drink, you don't have a YouTube channel, you got a YouTube channel, you don't date, you're on a date. And you wonder why you're single. Just saying, you know.
Good politics.
I know.
Yeah. Easy there.
I would be. Yeah.
I'm glad you think so. Peaches, you got anything else you want to add to this, sweetie?
I know she's sleeping already. She's like, I'm not tired.
Yeah. So, wifey, we miss you.
I
We didn't get a
know.
chance,
We'll have to
get your
send her
laughter
some
and your
chicken noodle
sense of
soup.
humor and your love and compassion on this podcast. But we hope
What about her
she
nice
feels better.
glare across the table at you when you say something she doesn't like?
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Dangerous.
She's
The
got a
Portuguese
bonus.
powerhouse.
I think
Yeah,
guys
she is a
more-
powerhouse.
I think
She's
guys
a
are
Portuguese
scared of her,
powerhouse.
too.
She's a powerhouse.
I think men are scared of her.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to
I
ask
think,
her.
well,
She's all woman.
she's and it's, she's the whole
100%.
package, right?
And I mean, like as positive as I.
Yeah, no, I
possibly
get it. And trust me, if she was here, she'd take it as a compliment as well. Like she's definitely a powerhouse. Like she's beautiful, she's intelligent. Like yeah,
Portuguese.
can.
Yeah.
I remember her making a point of being Portuguese.
Yeah.
And that affects what she was saying, how she likes to treat her men. I didn't say this, she
She's
did.
definitely a nurturer. Like she.
So
whoever
I'm just
whoever
putting that
ends
out
up
there
with
for
her
the
is
guys
a
listening.
very
She's
lucky man.
Portuguese.
Yeah,
And
for
apparently
sure.
someone out there.
Somebody out there.
Oh, so she's single.
She is single.
For Valentine's Day, she could be all by
Yeah.
herself. So
Well,
how
she's
can
gonna be
guys get a hold of her? Oh my God, Steve, you make sense now.
Come on, let's just do this together.
So
Perfect.
TSOQ at TSOQ for Instagram,
At the Strong Queen.
at the Store on Queen, at TSOC. I'm gonna
Oh
register.
my God, we are doing a draw. Well, it's ending tomorrow, but we have this
Do the
we
answer.
live-
Hold on.
live with this
Go
right
live on that.
Can we
Okay,
live with this
go
right now?
live, go
So
live.
Keep talking. Everybody keep talking.
I'm gonna
After
go
this
live.
Instagram
We
session.
gotta-
Go live with
We
mine,
gotta go
too.
quick because we're gonna run out of time on our
Oh my
recording.
God.
I don't know why you're-
So anyway,
Hold on, go live on your Instagram
It
with
is.
Peaches.
it is.
It's about getting the Wi-Fi.
It's about-
I'll get it, Peaches. For you. Someone can say something.
So we're here doing a podcast. Chad, Steve,
Hola, and-
Peachy.
There's Peaches there.
So anyways, yeah, so Valentine's Day, we are doing we do a draw every month. So we
Yeah.
do like a gift card draw. So where you buy a gift card and you enter, you submit the person that you buy this gift card for.
Okay.
We pick it out at random and we double the gift card.
Oh, so it's like a bonus round.
Yeah. We
That's
double the
pretty
gift card
exciting.
And you get a
So if I
personal-
buy $1,000
a
gift
personal
card,
shopping spree with me and Valentina.
Damn.
But for Valentine's Day, we're doing a special edition where they have a $100 gift card to go to the Good Son.
That's
And their
dope.
pizza is dope.
yeah, it is good there.
Hi!
They want to see
People are
Peaches.
joining.
Say hi, Peaches.
Love shopping here. So we should have started this, and they could have asked me questions, and I could have like
Next time we're
yeah. So the draw takes
Peaches
place
is hosting
first-
ours.
The first
She
of,
looks cute.
of every month. So the Valentine's Day one is going to be
That first.
February 1st.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll announce it. We'll announce it on the 1st.
I'm going for a shopping spree.
Yeah. So get your submissions in. Yeah.
I'll take the pizza. You can have the spree.
Totally take it. Totally.
I think some of the
You
stuff
guys,
might
you
be
guys
too
should
small.
do it.
We can enter this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a gift card.
Do you want to go there, Peaches?
Put it in a draw. Put it in our draw. Submit it.
Yeah.
We pick it out.
We're not gonna win though.
It might. You might. I don't know. It's at random. I have no idea who wins.
Okay.
What's this, Google Analytics?
Something like that.
Okay, so we got that plug out of the way.
Yes.
So let's wrap this
I'm
puppy
going
up.
to tell my boyfriend
As they
this is
say,
what I
bring it
want.
on home.
Yes, you tell him. You guys are awesome. I love all the hearts. The hearts make me so happy.
Aw.
It's all love. See what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
It is.
It's big.
It is
Told you
love.
it's all
Don't take it
love.
for granted.
No, never. We love our followers, really.
I
All
thought-
right, so at the store on Queen Street, you can go to the website is
Store.
TheStoreQueen.com.
And you guys do online as well?
Yes. you
Perfect.
can Online shop.
Yeah.
You buy this gift card online and submit online. Super easy.
So let's get
So-
going, people. Let's run some stuff.
All right, let's wrap it up. My name is Steve Mealing,
And I am Chad Cranston.
and our guest this week is
Papa.
Hubba.
Angela, hubby of the Strong Queen.
And thanks again for coming back. We were waiting.
thank
We
you
wanted
for
you guys
having
for our
me.
Valentine's Day one,
Thank
so
you
this
for
works
having
out
me.
perfect.
The
new renovation's gonna happen. Well, we're hoping to finish by March.
Perfect.
But you guys are gonna get a personal invite for the reveal.
Oh,
So are you
dear.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reveal
I'm
is gonna be
excited.
super amazing. I'm super excited of the new store. But it's gonna be all nice and big, and you get a bigger and badder store.
Spacious.
Yeah.
More
super
change
excited.
rooms.
Hey, Alex. Oh,
All right, let's go.
Stay up!
So we gotta get
My
out of
boy!
here.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Where can you
Bye,
send
Sushi.
all stuff through the Instagram account, right?
Yeah, so everything, you can send everything to at the City Podcast, the website, same thing, Facebook, same thing, Twitter, same thing. Our emails are there. Thank you very much
this
for the following, the subscribers. Everything is going very well.
We have a busy month coming up.
We have a
Lots
very
of guys,
busy month.
lots of guests. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
stay hand.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, and happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Peaches.
This is the City Podcast, and we are